Wamanjika, Marambik Bunurong, Namdeb, Barupton, Art+Australia. Welcome to our beautiful home, the lands of the two great bays, Nurm, Port Phillip Bay, Marin, Western Port Bay. One of the descendants of the Melbourne's first people of the Yallikat Willam of the Bunwurrung of the Greater Eastern Kulin, I welcome you all here today and extend our hand in friendship to the friends of this launch of the Multinaturalism issue of Art and Australia. Today we acknowledge the traditional lands of the Yallikat Willam and the lands of our ancestors. The Bunwurrung were a part of a much larger nation known as Eastern Kulin. This is the nation consisting of 5 major language groups. To our neighbours, the Woiwurrung, Tanwurrung, the Dja-Dja-Wurrung and the Warrawurrung. It is now over 180 years since the Europeans first arrived in this area we now know as Melbourne. The sacred river that flows past us, which is now called the Yarra. Now the Yarra was known by the first people of Melbourne as the Birrarung. Translates means the river of mist. The Birrarung was not only a source for food and used for transport, it represented the lifeblood of the Eastern Kulin as it flowed out into our great bay known as Nurm. Today we stand together on this special country and share the respect to each other's cultures and heritage. In recognising and celebrating our shared history, we all have something to gain. In traditional society of the Eastern Kulin, we were committed to the maintenance of our society by valuing the importance of learning, showing respect, celebrating life, and respecting sacred ground. This importance of learning, Yilenge, was the transmission of knowledge and understanding that ensured our culture survived. This commitment to learning has been a part of every generation since time began, and it's one of the reasons why we are still strong today. Showing respect. Dilbrook. In our traditions, visitors are always welcome, but they are required to show Dilbrook to the laws of the country, Wurrungi Bik. This is the same way we share respect to each other's cultures, religious or spiritual beliefs today. And we are here to celebrate. Chinabi, the celebration of life, the arrival of new children, the coming of our 6th season, and the visiting of the neighbouring clans was very much an important part of our traditional life. And today Melbourne not only represents one of the most important places for the celebration of contemporary Indigenous arts and culture, it also prides itself on celebrating the arts and culture of our multicultural and global society. Respecting sacred ground, Pabanata. We should all acknowledge the sacred ground on which we stand, and Melbourne today is a host to many people from many different nations, and we still call upon them to respect sacred ground by understanding the history, the heritage of Melbourne's first people of the Kulin Nation. And what we celebrate today in the multinaturalism, an important concept of how all living things relate on our planet. And according to our traditions, our lands will always be protected by our Creator, Bunjil, who travels as an eagle, and by Wan, who protects our waterways, travels as a crow. Bunjil taught us to always welcome guests, but he required us to ask all visitors to make a number of commitments. To obey the laws, the Wurrungi Bik of Bunjil, and not harm our lands, Bik-Biks, particularly not harm our beautiful waterways, our Warren, and our Bunjil's children, our Bubups. This commitment is made for an exchange of a small bow dipped in the water of the land. So once again, Wamanjika, Marin Bik Bik, Bunurong, Nurmdip, Barupton, Arthur Willem. Nungujin, Tanderum.
Thank you so much, Auntie Carolyn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Auntie Carolyn, for sharing that warm welcome to country for the launch of Multinaturalism, our latest edition of Art in Australia. I'm pleased to acknowledge the Yalukut Willem clan of the Boonwurrung people. We pay our respects to their elders, both past and present, and we acknowledge and uphold their continuing relationship to this land. It is entirely appropriate that we have an introduction to multinaturalism from the Boonwurrung, the first people of the Bays. The connection to the Boonwurrung, to the land and to the sea, is symbolic of the discussions we are having on multinaturalism. The concept of multinaturalism refers to a cosmology in which all beings, plant, animal and human, are related and can be used as a term to indicate both diversity and relationship. As the world struggles with the multitude of existential crises, our multinaturalism edition of Art in Australia presents an exploration of how the planet and its peoples have parted ways. We have a wonderful lineup of artists and authors who have contributed to the multinaturalism issue. Guest edited by Dr. Tessa Laird, lecturer in Critical and Theoretical Studies at the School of Art, University of Melbourne. The multinaturalism issue is born out of a myriad of ecological devastations facing humankind. We look at issues such as climate change, ecological devastation, pandemic, Indigenous sovereignty, and how environmental sustainability can be approached by decentering the human and recognising that culture necessarily encompasses nature. Art in Australia will hold a series of virtual launch activities from Friday the 26th of March to Sunday 28th of March to launch issue 57.1, Multinaturalism. The launch will feature leading speakers and artists on the concept of multinaturalism. I commend the Multinaturalism edition and the virtual launch activities to you. Art in Australia has played an important role in this nation's artistic discourse for over 100 years. Published by the Centre of Visual Art, University of Melbourne, the journal continues to focus on contemporary art and its relationship to broader theoretical, social and geopolitical contexts. We have some more exciting developments coming up for the publication, which we look forward to sharing with you soon. Womanjika.